Sorry, I got cut off there for some reason. So I was saying that if you want to figure out the March, the amount of debtors that there were in March, you have to add on the February debtors onto this 82,400. So let's do that first. 82,400. And you got more debtors in February. You got 15,300 in February. So adding that on, 97,700, excuse me, is your debtors figure for February. And then if you want to know, in March it said that management decided the provision for bad debts should be 4% of debtors. So we must get 4% of that. So I'm going to multiply that by 0.04. Okay. And if I multiply that by 0.04, I get 97,700 multiplied by 0.04, 3908. Now, don't rush to put that figure in because it wants to reduce it to this figure. It wants it to change to this figure, if you like, from that figure. So what do we have to put in here to change that from a minus 4120 into a minus 3908? Well, all we have to do is subtract this 3908 from 4120. So 4120 minus 3908 is 212. We have to, in order to bring that down, or up if you like, to minus 3908, we have to put in a plus 212, don't we? If we put in a plus 212 onto this, it will bring it to a minus 3908 in total figure. And against that then, on the bottom, we want to put 212 into the profit and loss. Now we'll have more of a discussion in the future of why it, oops, that's 215, why it's 212 in the profit and loss. But basically, any time that you reduce a provision for bad debts, it's treated as a gain. So that's an increase in your profit and loss. That's messy, I'm going to write that again. 212. It's treated as a gain, so it increases your profit. Anytime you have an increase in the bad debt provision, it's treated like an expense and it reduces your profit. It'll be a minus in here. So if that went from minus 4120 to minus 5,000, so if you had another minus something going in here, then down here will be a minus as well. An increase in the bad debt provision means it's treated like an expense in the profit and loss. Okay, that's the first one. Then the September one I wanted to go through because I don't think we'd seen this before. A dividend of 5 cents per share was paid on all issued shares. So it's relatively straightforward, but there is one little bit that catches people out as well. And that is that if you look at the very beginning here, our issued shares is 450,000. So a dividend of 5% on all issued shares. However, and let me actually just before I'll write that down so we'll have it. It's 450,000 is your issued shares, but that's at the beginning of the year. Something else happened before September. So you're going to pay a dividend of 5 cents for every share that was issued, but there were more shares issued during the year. Where was it? The purchase price was discharged by granting the seller, or by issuing these shares to the seller, 140,000 shares in Miller Limited. So you have another 140,000 shares on top of those 450 that were issued. It's after getting very blurry. One second, I'll try and fix it. There we go. So in total, the issued shares in September is 590. And so if you're going to pay 5 cents per share for each one of those shares, that's going to work out to be, let me get my calculator here. It's going to be 29,500 euros you're going to pay out. Now, if you're paying out these dividends to your shareholders, well, your bank is definitely going to go down for a start. So bank is going to be minus 29,500. And simply, I mean, where does that money come from? It comes off your profit. You know, you take a portion of your profit and you give it to your shareholders in the form of dividends. So it reduces your retained profit. So this is also minus 29,500. And so your totals are both the same. Minus 29,500, minus 29,500.